Come on, what's his name?
It's Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
7 or 6?
7 or 6, not the other way around.
No, it's not the other way around. If you were a pirate, what was the first thing you do?
I'll find the One Piece.
And that's all we have time for today. Hey guys, welcome back to P-Docs Talk. Today I have my co-host Yash.
Hey.
What movie are we watching today?
Before that,
Yes.
would you rather be a cowboy, a samurai, or a pirate?
Neither. Samurai. You?
I'm gonna be the king of the pirates!
I'm gonna cut to the. Never mind. You'll know in the edit. Anyway,
So, Pirates of the Caribbean,
Pirates of the
number
Caribbean.
1.
the first one.
The first one.
Only 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies exist.
Who's it directed by?
No idea.
No? Gore Verbinski.
Whoever he is, he has a huge place in my heart. That was my childhood.
Yes. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, obviously you enjoyed the film.
Yeah, I love the film.
What did you...
I've watched it so many times. The first one I've watched so many times. I've not really watched the second and third one that many times, but I still love it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the rest. But
Okay.
yes.
What did you enjoy about the first film?
What's there not to enjoy? What do you like about it? Because was it the first time watching it?
I watched it a while ago, but yeah, it wasn't like... I didn't grow up with it as much.
Yeah, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
So I have more emotional connect with that film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you like about it?
What do I like about it?
Explain the film to me.
How did I explained to my dad what was the film the other day, and I said to him, it's a pirate. No, I didn't say
It's
that.
not a pirate. Come on. What's his name?
It's Jack Sparrow.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
And Will go
I
on
was waiting for that joke.
and Will go on an adventure to save the loved one by chasing down a cursed pirate ship. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what's the name of the guy he's chasing down?
Captain Barbosa.
Barbosa.
Barbosa. What would you rate Pirates out of 10?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it a 9.
A 9. Why a 9? That's pretty high.
It's a pretty good film. Like,
Okay. What in particular? Go into a little bit more detail for me. What? Because personally, not my favorite childhood film. I would rather Narnia, or I would rather...
Look, Narnia was a big part of my childhood as well. Yes. I'm not going to lie. Yes.
Yeah.
But this is the first film where you see a hero who's not a hero. It's like almost an anti-hero.
Yeah,
Right?
I get that.
He's not someone you want to look up to. Of course not.
No.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's fun and whimsical and just... he doesn't
Different.
take shit seriously in life.
Eccentric.
Yeah. But he has a goal.
Yeah.
He almost reminds me of One Piece. But
By the way, his favorite anime is One Piece.
So yeah, I love everything about that. And
Fair.
yeah, prime Johnny Depp in that. He just goes crazy. I read something where the suits at Disney did not like how he was portraying Captain Jack Sparrow. And because they thought he was being drunk, but that was just sea legs. And look, I wasn't on a ship for too long. I've been on a boat now and then, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I get why he was doing that throughout for someone who's lived on a boat forever, right? And yeah, so fun.
He did kind of look drunk though.
He was drunk,
Yeah.
but let's not get into that.
The other thing I remember you chatting about was looking at, this was the last film that film brought out a series.
This is the last intellectual property for a character straight out of film.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
So if I'm not wrong, ever since this film came out, there's not been a true character, a true intellectual property character that has been created just for film.
As if most films are coming from books and stuff like that.
Books, anime,
Yeah.
comics, what else? just other characters from
or revisited stories,
remakes,
lots of remakes,
lots of remakes,
That's a whole nother episode.
So he is the last remaining. I mean, last true IP character.
Fair.
That's from film. I'm not even talking about TV shows. Like TV shows, we have a lot of new, Stranger Things and stuff. But this is the last one from film.
Yeah, now you could argue Stranger Things is now a movie as well.
But it's still from TV show.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. How did Pirates of the Caribbean inspire you to write for your films?
When you started asking that question, I was going to say, oh, no, I've never been inspired by it. It was just a fun film from my childhood. But the music. Oh, the music. I've listened to the music for hours on end while writing my films.
Yeah.
When I was writing my first few films, they're shitty films, shitty screenplays, for sure. And I didn't make those films, but it just made me want to write. That was the first step of writing. The music, man.
Yeah.
You know the one that goes...
Copyright. I have my songs as well. You watch Oppenheimer?
Yes.
That's nice.
What's the name of the composer?
Ludwig.
His full name?
It's Ludwig. Yeah. Goransson. Yep.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how you pronounce it at all.
Yeah.
Ludwig Göransson is not how you pronounce it, but that's how we're pronouncing it today. That one and the Babylon soundtrack. The Babylon soundtrack's just so hectic. It's just like all in your face. And
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it to me it brings out a character. I always look for where my characters feel like, and I always connect them to different songs. Yeah.
Do you think this movie is perfect?
No.
Why?
How
would you rate it though? I don't think I
7.
heard you. Okay. 7.
7 or 6.
7 or 6, not the other way around.
No, it's not the other way around.
Okay.
Are we classifying this as a kids film? It's marketed.
kind of a gray area. It was marketed as but there's no swear words. It's not R-rated.
Yeah.
I think maybe one swear word somewhere.
Yeah.
Maybe PG-13. I'm not sure.
So for a kids movie, I think it's quite good. And
but it has dark themes though.
Yeah, it does have dark themes.
The third film starts with, we're talking about the first film here, but the third film starts with a really dark theme song.
Yeah. To be fair, I haven't watched any of the other ones. I've watched a few of the other ones, but it wasn't as memorable for me as the other ones.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I enjoyed Johnny Depp's character. I think that's clear. A lot of people loved his character. What I didn't enjoy the other characters as much, like Will and what's her name? Keira Knightley plays. Yeah, I don't know. I thought those characters could have been stronger. I think their arcs were a bit bland.
Are they though?
What do you think?
You got to watch all 3 films to understand.
Yeah, okay, fair.
It's a big film. It's an epic. It's an
Pirates
epic.
of the Caribbean is an epic.
Have you heard the music though?
Speaking of IP and that sort of thing, how would you create a character with a lasting impression?
A character that stays popular even till today.
Yeah.
That's a very hard
It's a
thing
really, really hard. How would you, forget about that question, how would you write your own character? What makes you write this character instead of that character?
Recently, I started observing people around me, making them into characters, giving them, it's not entirely just them as characters, them playing themselves in the films. No, it's taking a bit of them and taking a bit of what's the extent of what they can do.
How can you exaggerate them?
How can you exaggerate them and writing that into a character? Yeah. That's what's working for me so far. I don't know how far I can bring it.
Do you ever play like writing games with yourself of like when I sit on the bus sometimes, I think about, if this person was a character, what would they say?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like you just sit there and you go, oh, I wonder what she's thinking about. And then you have your own little story in your head about, oh, so I got on the bus today and I did this and oh, I'm having this thing and I'm that thing and yeah.
I do something a bit creepier.
Okay.
I try to figure out what their life is about.
Yes.
Just by looking at them.
Do you think a lot of people do that?
I do not know.
I'm getting a lot of nods from around the room.
Have you seen Sherlock?
Yes.
Yeah, so you know how the words come up on the screen?
Yes.
So that's kind of what I try to like, oh, okay, dirty sheets.
How's your mind palace? Is your mind palace good?
I don't have one.
Oh, okay.
I forget everything.
I forget everything.
I'm not known for having the best memory.
No, he needs to write things down. We remind him often. Yeah, no. For when I write my characters, I do something similar. Like, but yeah, I like to, like when I first started writing, I like to write shit poems and try and use the structure of poems to create a structure of a character. It's one of those things where it's like, you don't have to show everyone. It doesn't have to be any good, but it's just like, it helps you think about and feel where the characters are coming from. Especially like really, if you want to write an eccentric character, you kind of got to take it a little bit extreme.
Yeah.
Like you can't write it from a normal person's point of view.
You can't, no.
No, you need to try and feel what they would feel. Like, why would you take a step towards the door or why would you not take a step? And everything's got to be like, don't like it. You know what I mean? It's
but then again, you shouldn't be writing that many details, right? Then it's going to be too much work on you. And how much are you going to let your actor do?
To me, I like that, but I also like to play in my head what the movie could look like. Right, I like to put all in the details, and then when I get to the set, let them go and see what the actors bring. Yeah, like
you starting at like stage 20 or something, and let them go to 100.
Exactly. I mean, like you write like what was Drip 20 drafts, 21 drafts. There's a story that started, and there's a story that it's draft 20, and now in between is everything else. So there's always room for somewhere to grow and take it somewhere better. Yeah. Generally, our ideas are like there, and then the actors bring that much more, which I enjoy. Yeah. Especially like working with the actor and letting them develop. Like recently on Drip. Yeah. Me and Travis. Travis was the lead actor of Drip, and we went to the snooker room, and we just played snooker. We played snooker. We chatted about snooker, what it meant to coach. Because there's a big part at the end of the scene where it's about him teaching old people how to play. And these guys, they come with experience, right? Their presence of being old is coming with experience. He's a young person trying to teach an old, you know what I mean? Like there's this conflict between that. And I was teaching him from experience of teaching older people, you need to know your shit. And you need to present it in this logical way. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's been told before, but it was just about playing it with snooker. Like if he had coached, we talked about him coaching actors and talking to actors and how he did it, and that's how we related that to snooker and we connected it that way.
Yeah, it's a very cool story. Yeah. I'm a bit zoned out.
How did you work with the shop bag actors?
You mean Riceback?
Yeah. It was one of your films that you made?
Yeah, Riceback is the film I made.
Yeah.
I had a very good first AD who had a theater background. So most of it was just me observing how he was doing it. And because it's helping me direct. And most of the time it was me telling, all right, I don't like what's happening here. Can you go change this up? Do this more, do that less. So
did you talk to the AD or did you talk to the actors?
Most of the time I was talking to the ADs, to my AD.
Yeah.
But there was minor things. I went in, I was like, all right, do that instead.
Did you enjoy that process?
Yeah, I enjoyed it because I could take a step back. I don't have to stress about having to communicate with 10 different actors. Yeah. Right. It was just about the big picture. I was just watching the big picture unfold, and I'm like, okay, I don't like this part. I like that part, but this doesn't connect. I need something to be done over here. You were an extra on that film as well.
I was an extra. I played a very key role of being a server.
He's the first person you can see in the first shot.
Yeah. It is all about the first 3 scenes.
Yeah. But it's just one scene in my film.
Yeah. If you were a pirate what would the first thing you do?
I'll find the One Piece.
And that's all we have time for today.
I'm going to go to Japan to find the One Piece. What would you do?
If I was a pirate?
Yeah.
A truthful answer?
Yes.
Yes. I would. I'm the boring one in this conversation, as always. I would get up and check if there's a storm. And I have no idea, actually. I've never thought about being a pirate. Yeah, I'd probably steal something. Seeing where...
As pirates do.
As pirates do, and see if I need food, and then I'll steal something and sell it. And that's probably...
Robin Hood.
But I'm on a boat, so that's the difference.
Okay, so you're Robin Hood on a boat.
Yeah, but I'm stealing from poor and rich. So, yeah.
Just
Pretty much. That's why I don't like pirates.